Is it plastic or metal?
They're glass.
Glass.
They're glass tubes, and we have a closer picture actually later on. But they're glass tubes that, and they're called evacuated because there's a copper tube inside of the glass tube, and that copper tube has a fluid in it that has a low boiling point, like acetone or alcohol.
I got you. I see you.
Yeah. It makes it boil and rises up to these headers here, and then heat's exchanged with some other fluid. But between the copper tube and the glass surface, there's no air, so there's no heat loss through conduction there. Yeah.
What protection from hail does your solar panel and these glass tubes have?
They're strong because they're only like 2 inches about in diameter, and they're arched, or circular, and they're really strong. I mean, unless you have a
baseball-sized piece of
or bigger. Yeah. Here's a closer picture of it.
They look like they're pretty strong.
Yeah. Now this is a lot of tanks right there. I do a lot of jobs in the house with the warm water that gets generated by the sun from those panels. And there's 3 80-gallon exterior grade insulated tanks. I happen to get these tanks for free from the factory, and that's why I installed them all 3, because there's more thermal mass, the better it is. And the way this works really is, you see this first tank with all this equipment on there. That solar panel on the roof creates that hotter water and then pumps it by a heat exchanger in this tank, which contains water on the outside of that heat exchanger. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept. It's basically just a pot with water in it, and there is a copper spiral that is circling in this thing, and it has an inlet, goes in there and then goes back out. It does not mix with the water in the tank. In that process of circulating through there, it exchanges its heat to the water. And by stratification in this tank, the hotter water rises to the top and then migrates over to this next tank. This tank is also supplemental for any domestic warm water that's being taken out of this tank here. They're all just hooked up in series, really. So the fresh hot water that replaces the warm water that's taken out of the domestic side here gets mixed with the hot water generated from this solar panel. And I don't know if you're familiar, it's a technical term, but the delta T is so great between those two temperatures that it's allowed to, literally have the maximum heat transfer. I think that's the first thing. So the water usually I wish I could zoom in a little. Actually, I can zoom in, I believe. Let's see. Look at that. I can't read the number there, unfortunately.
40 something?
No, it will be either 80 or 90 degrees. Like sometimes when the sun is out, when the sun is out, it will generate 120 degrees. Will already be in there in that first tank. But mostly, even during the winter, it's 80 degrees, and that's in Montana. And then this tank, if that one is 80 degrees, this one will be 100 or more. And this next one is then a little more even, like 110. But this last one is monitored by an evaporating boiler next to it. A propane evaporating boiler, very efficient, 98% German piece of equipment that's made in Holland. Low Germans. That's what they call them, Low German. And so what that little evaporating boiler does, it has sensors on it that will actually understand what job is being asked from these tanks. Because these tanks have different jobs that are being done with this heat. One being domestic hot water, for showers and bathtubs. Another one being floor heat. A third one being snow melt in the gutters. There's a hydronic loop running through the gutters that melts the snow. And then there's a heat dump for in the summertime when there is too much heat generated there. It will get looped, with pipes. It will not contact the soil, but it is looped underneath the house. So yeah. But what that little evaporating boiler does is if the water, let's say in the wintertime is only 100 degrees in this tank, and you want a 110 degree shower, my wife wants a 120 degree shower. Then the bodairs will know, you set it to the setting that is required, and it will make up the difference. It will make up that 20 degrees. So again, a stage design where you only use it when you need it, but it's not a compromise in the sense that you have to make do with a 100 degree shower, which is, let's go back to the gutter system here, but as you can see, we have these massive, they're not that massive, but it's huge overhang there, about 3 feet, in excess of 3 feet, to, of course, protect against the summer sun, as most people know that the sun rises higher in the summertime, and protect the house walls from blistering sun. But it also is designed to hold a pretty significant weight of snow in the wintertime. And the walls are constructed out of 2 separate 2x4 walls without any thermal breaks there. But each of these braces have a piece of plywood that goes across there, which is then a thermal break. But we thought it necessary because it is like a buttress to hold the weight of snow that might accumulate up there in the wintertime. But it also creates a massive, a very good protection against earthquakes. We are living in an earthquake area, 3, just like you guys here really. And it gives a lateral bracing that you don't have normally in a shear wall.
Are those beams solid or are they sandwiched?
Excuse me?
Are those beams solid pieces of wood or are they sandwiched?
No, they are built up 2x6s actually.
Okay.
So they're actually 6x6s really.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's another picture of the house. Now you wonder what this is, but this is our first stage of filtering the water. So there's a downspout underneath here, and we just piled a bunch of gravel and sand on it, clean silicone-free sand. That basically is the first line of defense to prevent leaves, cottonwood, what have you, to go in there. This was during the construction, and these are those 5 tanks that I was talking about. These are 1,600 gallons and these are 2,500 gallons, and they're being placed around the house.
What are they made of?
Some plastic that is potable. I don't really know the technical name for it, but some plastic that is guaranteed to be potable safe.